Okay, individually, the Lakers didn't necessarily sign some expensive old dude, but they signed plenty of old dudes. For example, Rajon Rondo, who is 35 years old, is somehow only the sixth oldest player on his team because all these dudes that are populating the screen right now are older than him. The Heat didn't sign a lot of old dudes, but the ones they did, they paid. Some fans of these teams have been getting high as hell off copium, telling themselves, hey, these players are aging slower than they used to. No reason to be worried. So what my dumbass did like 4 hours of data entry work for free because I'm an idiot. And I got these two graphs, which are essentially the same graph, just one is zoomed in more than the other one, but it basically points out that that whole theory is kind of stupid and there's no evidence of it. Did I say chart, graph, whatever? Don't be a graph nerd. Don't gatekeep me on graphs. Just don't worry about that, okay? The information's correct. If I'm using the wrong terminology, just grow up. I'm tired. What I did learn that was kind of interesting to me is actually how many players from the past had really remarkable seasons after turning 34. Karl Malone, for example, won an MVP when he was 35 and was basically good until his last year in the league with the Lakers when he was already 40.
Thank you for conducting yourself on and off the court in a way that makes us all proud to be associated with the NBA. NBA Most Valuable Player.
John Stockton also played till he was 40, and he was still awesome the year he retired. Jason Kidd still has some awesome years in his mid-30s, and Tim Duncan is obviously like the poster boy of aging, or if he's not the poster boy, he's sharing the poster with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who are both legends of aging gracefully, except for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's hairline, which did not age quite so gracefully. Michael Jordan's interesting to talk about, even though he retired when he was 34, because he was an MVP and a Finals MVP the season he stopped playing. And he never played again. But had he kept on playing, there's reason to think he would have been pretty good for at least a couple more years, like MVP caliber. LeBron and Chris Paul are like the modern versions of some of the guys I mentioned. Not that they're the same players, but they've been able to stay really good into their mid-30s.
Came in as a terrific defender. His offensive game has improved leaps and bounds as James throws it down.
Come on now. We know the threes, but now he just shot. What's the deal with these point guards? 2021. What?
Basically, the conclusion I had to come up with is that there's really no good evidence that players are holding on to their primes longer than they used to. To be clear, there's no good evidence right now. This could obviously change in 5 years as a bunch of dudes start aging. Matter of fact, I'm going to put an asterisk on this part of the video, and at the end of the video, after I'm done with my conclusion, I'll come back to it and talk about that, all right? Not only is that the conclusion I have to be left with, but if you look at the average age of an NBA player, it's actually going down at 26.1 right now. It's as low as it's ever been. It's actually really impressive how many dudes I was able to find that had not just good, but like legitimately awesome to great seasons in their mid to late 30s, and dudes that started playing in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's not to say that playing into your late 30s now isn't impressive. It's just a credit to those dudes that they were already able to do it without some of the technology that the modern guys have. I'm going to talk about that asterisk that I mentioned earlier. Not all of them. There was John Stockton's, Michael Jordan's, and Reggie Miller's, but a lot of the players that aged really well were like 6'9" and bigger. And they were mostly inside forces, meaning that even though as they got older and they probably lost some athleticism, it's hard to measure, but they probably did, they didn't stop being 6'9" or 7'2" or whatever they were, right? It's going to be really interesting to monitor this and maybe come back to it in 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years.
Are you stupid or something?
And see how guys like Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Jimmy Butler, dudes that are all in their early to mid 30s, what are they going to look like? It's going to be fun to find out. Anyways, I'm very tired. I've been standing this whole recording, just trying different angles, different looks, trying to see how everything looks. Anyways, if you like the video, then like the video. Appreciate you.